$200,000. That's how much you could overpay by choosing the wrong airplane today. SR22T versus Bonanza G36, million-dollar machines. But only three numbers matter: speed, useful load, and cost. Choose wrong, and you'll curse yourself every flight for the next decade. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which aircraft deserves your hard-earned money. But first, stop. Before we dive into the numbers, I need to know something about you. Right now in the comments, tell me, what's your biggest aviation nightmare? Crawling along at 150 while everyone else passes you? Running out of payload space on family trips? Or watching your bank account drain faster than your fuel tanks? Your answer determines which plane wins. Type it now. Everything you're about to hear comes from factory spec sheets, real market data, and actual owner reports. No hanger tales, no marketing fluff, just numbers that will save or cost you a fortune. Here's what happens when you're honest about speed numbers instead of believing the brochures. Cirrus markets a 213-knot max cruise. But here's what you'll actually flight plan. Real-world cruise at 18,000 feet, 198 knots. What most owners see, 190 to 210 knots depending on power settings. That's still blazing fast for a single-engine piston, but it's not the marketing number. Textron says 174 knots max cruise, and unlike some manufacturers, this number is actually achievable in normal operations. Realistic cruise, 170 to 174 knots. Economy settings, 165 knots. Let's run a real scenario. You're flying from Chicago to Nashville, 300 nautical miles. SR22T at 195 knots, 1 hour, 32 minutes. Bonanza at 170 knots, 1 hour, 46 minutes. Time saved, 14 minutes on a typical cross-country leg. But on longer trips, Dallas to Denver, 500 nautical miles. SR22T, 2 hours, 34 minutes. Bonanza, 2 hours, 56 minutes. Time saved, 22 minutes. Now we're talking real schedule impact. That's the difference between making your dinner reservation and eating airport food. Quick reality check. Is saving 20 to 25 minutes worth burning an extra $120 in fuel per trip? Smash the like button if time is money in your world. Leave it gray if you'd rather save the fuel costs. This is where dreams meet physics, and physics usually wins. Cirrus published useful load, 1,038 pounds. Full fuel, 92 gallons, 552 pounds. Full fuel payload, 686 pounds. What does 686 pounds actually get you? Let me paint a picture. You and your spouse, 340 pounds. 2 teenage kids, 260 pounds. Luggage for a week, 150 pounds. Total, 750 pounds. You're already 64 pounds over capacity. But wait, there's a game changer. Most trips don't need full fuel. With partial fuel, 3-hour range plus reserves, 884 pounds payload. Now you can actually take the family and their stuff. Bonanza's useful load, 1,213 pounds. Full fuel, 74 gallons, 444 pounds. Full fuel payload, 769 pounds. Same family scenario. You, spouse, 2 teens, 600 pounds. Week's luggage, 150 pounds. Total, 750 pounds. You've got 19 pounds to spare, barely, but you make it. SR22T wins if you typically fly 2 to 4 people on shorter legs where you don't need full fuel. Bonanza wins if you regularly haul 5 to 6 people or consistently max out on cargo. Tell me your real mission in the comments. How many seats do you actually fill on a typical trip? I'll tell you which plane handles your reality better. Brace yourself for the sticker shock that makes grown pilots cry. SR22T G7 GTS, the one people actually buy, $1.279,900. Bonanza G36 2025 model, $1.49 million plus. Price difference, $210,100. That's enough money to buy a house in many parts of the country. Is the Bonanza's extra seat worth $250,000 premium? Late model SR22T, G6, and G7 with low time, $700,000 to $950,000. Abundant supply keeps prices reasonable. Depreciation curve is predictable. A clean Bonanza. G36, recent model. 650,000 to 850,000. Limited supply props up values. Classic design holds value well. Both aircraft land in the $600 to $700 per hour operating cost range at 200 hours annually. But here's the difference. SR22T. Fixed gear equals predictable maintenance. Bonanza's retractable gear means potential surprise gear motor replacements, annual gear inspections, potential gear-up incidents. Insurance reality. CAPS-equipped SR22T often cost $200 to $500 less annually to insure. Drop your planned annual hours below, and I'll calculate which airplane costs less over 5 years of ownership. The answer might surprise you. Here's the conversation that happens when your spouse calls during turbulence. CAPS parachute. Pull the handle. Live to fly another day. Safe return. Emergency Autoland. Plane lands itself if you're incapacitated. Family acceptance. Non-pilot spouses sleep better knowing CAPS is there. Real talk. CAPS has saved 126 plus lives. That's not marketing. That's documented fact. Retractable gear. Clean, fast, traditional. 6 decades of refinement. They've worked out the bugs. Ramp presence. Other pilots nod with respect. But your spouse might need more convincing about the lack of a parachute. The speed champion. SR22T, 25 to 35 knots faster in real operations. If your time has value, this isn't even close. Useful load. This is a tie. Mission dependent. Bonanza for consistent full fuel, 5 to 6 person missions. SR22T for typical 2 to 4 person trips with partial fuel. Cost champion SR22T, $210,000 less to buy new. Lower insurance costs. Predictable maintenance with fixed gear. Buy the SR22T if speed is your primary mission requirement. You typically fly 2 to 4 people. You want cutting-edge safety technology. You prefer lower acquisition and operating costs. Buy the Bonanza G36 if you regularly need 5 to 6 seats. You don't mind paying premium for exclusivity. Traditional gear operation doesn't intimidate you. 6-seat utility outweighs speed considerations. Here's your assignment. Go to the comments and answer this specific question. What's your real mission? How many people? How far? How often? I'll personally reply to every comment in the first hour with my recommendation for your specific situation. No generic answers. Real advice based on your real flying. And if this video just saved you from a $250,000 mistake, hit that subscribe button because next week we're comparing the TBM 960 versus PC-12NGX, and the winner might shock you. Until then, choose smart, fly safe, and remember, the best airplane is the one that fits your mission, not someone else's dream.